Welcome back. President Ramaphosa in his economic recovery plan saying there are between 2.4 and 3.5 million SMMEs in the country, with the largest number in the informal and micro sectors. He went on to say that this offers the greatest untapped potential for growth, employment and fundamental economic transformation. But let me suggest this to you. It's not so much identifying the problem, we know that, so much as actually getting things done. According to Andile Khumalo, who runs the I Am an Entrepreneur program, buying an existing business possibly provides a proven business model for aspiring entrepreneurs. He joins me now on Friday lunchtime. Andile, good afternoon to you. So, after the speech yesterday, how should small business be reacting? With a degree of positivity?
Probably not very different than before, Jeremy, because there's not a hell of a lot that's brand new in terms of groundbreaking, needle-moving ideas. I think that, the president and I guess the government at large is in a bit of a difficult situation because these are not new challenges. They've been there for the longest time, and not so much of the brand new ideas that's come from them have really been brand new. A lot of it is stuff we've heard before. And for me, the plan sounded more like targets. It sounded like the things we should try and achieve as opposed to this is how we're going to do it. I heard a lot about the infrastructure plans, of course, the jobs. I think a large part of the jobs this president is hoping comes from the infrastructure build. But from a small business perspective, our biggest problem is the fact that the economy is not growing. And if there's one thing closest to silver bullet that every business person hopes for, is a growing economy where more and more people are part of economic activity. And we just don't have that in the country. So no, unfortunately, I think many entrepreneurs are feeling like me, feels more of the same, but not much in terms of brand new ideas.
Well, the president going on to say, and I quote, that through a focused support program, the government would support SMME participation in the manufacturing value chain. So beyond the targets then, Andile Khumalo, how would you like to see that support manifesting itself?
And I guess it talks to what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow morning at our digital summit, and that is the potential of buying businesses. And manufacturing is a great example. And the president is not misled by thinking or by trying to find a solution around manufacturing. We've lost our global competitiveness to countries like China and many others in Asia. We used to have a very thriving manufacturing concern here in South Africa. We have a huge opportunity around beneficiation because a lot of the raw materials are here in country. But what we've never done or taken advantage of in the past is the opportunity to now manufacture and beneficiate some of the raw materials that we build. So manufacturing may very well be a great opportunity, but there are a lot of opportunities, or businesses rather, that are in manufacturing where some of the shareholders, maybe these are shareholders are families, some are institutions, some are private equity players, maybe looking what's happened in the past year thanks to COVID and a slow economy, and starting to think about maybe cashing out or taking their pensions or divesting from a certain business and maybe put their money somewhere else. And that means it's an opportunity for entrepreneurs like us who can go into these businesses, put their own stamp in it, find new markets, but at least they're buying a business that's got some critical mass, some trading history, money's been going in and out of the bank account over time, and yes, perhaps things have been a little slow in recent times because of the challenges we're facing. And that makes in itself is not a bad thing. That might be a good thing because that affects, of course, the price you might be able to pay. So I, for one, think that there should be capital out there literally going, who are the entrepreneurs to back, who are technically astute and know a particular industry, who've got experience potentially from corporates that they may have worked for, who can take over a small business and create a new future for it. And I think that kind of funding is less risky by virtue of the fact that, of course, you're buying a business that's already there, notwithstanding that it could be going through tough times. Compare that to a brand new business, Jeremy. I think that's a new idea that could really take traction in this kind of environment.
Now, Andile, I know that you're an ex-radio guy and you love the sound of your own voice like I do, so I'm not going to give you much time. But I'm going to ask you to tell me, because he's talking at this webinar of yours, a guy called Sibonelo Mbata, who's going to share a story of becoming or being a petrol attendant to what? Where did he end up?
He ended up owning around 8 stations. I think he still owns most of them. So he was pumping gas, exactly like you say. And from there, he learned the business of kind of a fuel station environment with a convenience store and everything else. that comes with it. And he bought his first one, struggled, bought his second, and he ended up with 8 when I met him 5 years ago. But what's more interesting, Jeremy, is that he's now built another business where he's now funding people to buy into those petrol stations. So he's certainly our man on the match tomorrow morning.
All right, if you need details, the website, I Am an Entrepreneur. Andile Khumalo, always a great pleasure talking to you. Now,